What is going on, guys? JD from New York here. This is your Monday Night Raw review for last night's show, the SummerSlam Fallout, August 18th, 2014, live from Las Vegas, Nevada. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, is what they say. This Monday Night Raw should have stayed in Vegas, man. Very, very disappointing show, especially following such a big event like SummerSlam. Now, there were a few things that I'm going to take away from the show. We're going to talk about them today. One of them being Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins being the main event of last night's Monday Night Raw. Obviously, the other thing's going to be Brock Lesnar unveiling the new WWE Championship with the new WWE Network logo. We'll talk about that. And then the only other thing that was big to me, Nikki Bella and Brie Bella, the continuing storyline of the betrayal there between the two sisters. I want to talk about Mark Henry and Rusev, too. I really enjoyed that segment. I want to talk about how great Rusev is being as a heel, how well he's playing that heel character. I really enjoyed Mark Henry's work interacting with Rusev last night. We'll talk about that. And we'll talk about the random shit that happened. But overall, the show was very underwhelming. Not really what you would expect from a Monday Night Raw following such a big SummerSlam in which we've seen Brock Lesnar just dissect and destroy John Cena. You know, we've seen the Divas Championship change hands. We've seen the IC title change hands. A lot of stuff happened at SummerSlam, and that really didn't translate over very well onto Monday Night Raw. It seems, you know, I've been using this phrase a lot lately. It seems like the WWE is on autopilot. They don't really know what they want to do or what direction that they're going in half of the time. And it's quite evident with, you know, what happened on Monday Night Raw. But we'll talk about it. I want to talk about Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins first. I was very vocal about the Lumberjack match, okay, at SummerSlam. The match was great. When you had those two in the ring by themselves, shit was going down. The crowd was loving it. The crowd was into it. I knew right when it was announced the Lumberjacks were going to play a big problem in this match. I said it on Joe Cronin, the podcast that we did. I forgot to mention all that shit. I'll mention it at the end of the show. But if you did miss the podcast with me and Joe Cronin, down below in the description, please. It is absolutely amazing. Go and check that out. Go and support him. He's been grinding his ass off. He just reached 9,000 subs. Go and check that out. Go and support him on there. Link will be down in the description below for his website and the podcast as well. But I said this on the podcast with him, that the Lumberjacks were going to be a distraction. Everyone was going to be more concerned with the Lumberjacks than what was going on in the ring with Ambrose and Rollins. And that's exactly what happened. You've seen glimpses of greatness at SummerSlam. I really just preferred it to be just a one-on-one match. You know, I preferred maybe a steel cage, I mentioned, maybe a ladder match. But I understand the WWE's direction here. You know, they could have went a better way in deciding what kind of stipulation they wanted at SummerSlam with the Lumberjacks. That would have been my last idea. I'm not a big fan of Lumberjack matches. I was never a big fan of Lumberjack matches, but the Lumberjacks just took away from so much that we expected to be great between Rollins and Ambrose. Translate that over to Monday Night Raw, and Monday Night Raw gives us those two in the main event spot. I couldn't be more pleased with that. I was like, you know, I wonder what they're going to do with Ambrose and Rollins. And then as the show went on, I'm like, these guys are going to be in the main event. Fantastic, okay? Last night on Monday Night Raw was the match that we should have had at SummerSlam. It should have just been a one-on-one match. Put these two in a one-on-one match. Let them go. You could have had the same outcome. You could have had Rollins win. You could have had Rollins win at SummerSlam. Everything would have been okay. The Lumberjacks just made it a lazy, clumsy, just clusterfuck of a match. And I really didn't like that aspect of it. Monday Night Raw, I've been tweeting. I'm saying this is the fucking match we should have had at SummerSlam. What happened? Fantastic main event. Great way to close the show. Ambrose and Rollins, these two in a feud that's going to continue. Okay, you guys may be wondering what the fuck's going on with Ambrose. Do not worry. Ambrose took that shot on the cinder blocks, okay? He took that shot on the cinder blocks simply because he's going to film a WWE movie entitled Lockdown, okay? He's going to be gone, I don't know how long, a couple of weeks, it could be a month. But all I know is that the match was so great People were so concerned about that ending. What's going to happen to Ambrose? The announcers played it off so well that, you know, he's going to be gone, and then when he makes his epic return to get his revenge, ultimately, because that's what's going to happen, Ambrose is going to get the one up on Rollins here, and then they're going to go their separate ways. They may cross each other's paths here and there down the line, but Ambrose ultimately is going to go over in this feud. A lot of people are saying, I don't like the way they're putting Ambrose under. You know, he deserves better than this. They're screwing him left and right. Kane has been interfering, yada, yada, yada. I understand that. I hate Kane just as much as the next guy. I hate all the interferences. I hate all the screw jobs to Ambrose. But in the end, the WWE is building this up for a massive explosion. When Ambrose gets that final 1, 2, 3 on Rollins, and he just solidifies that he's beat Rollins in this entire feud, it's going to be epic. 1, 2, 3. It's classic WWE. It's classic storytelling in professional wrestling. Do not be alarmed by what you see. Ambrose is being taken off TV. That was the best way that they could have did it. The announcers played it up well. Everyone was concerned. There's a WWE.com report that he refused medical attention, that he went missing. He didn't want to go to the hospital. They're playing it up pretty well. Okay, so don't be concerned about Ambrose. The curb stomp on the cinder blocks was something to just say, you know what, he's going to be out. He's going to be out. We don't know what the fuck's going on, but in reality, they're taking him off TV because he's filming a WWE Studios movie called Lockdown. But the main event was fantastic. The table spots was great. The power bomb on the steel chairs. That's the match we should have seen at SummerSlam. That's the match I know these two could put on. And when you put these two again in the ring, when Ambrose has done whatever he's got going on, put them inside a Hell in a Cell. Put them in a ladder match, maybe the briefcase on the line, but I think these two will end their feud at Hell in the Cell. You put these two inside a Hell in the Cell, who the fuck knows what these two are capable of? But last night, that main event was classic. One of the best main events you will see on Monday Night Raw this year. Couldn't be more happy with it. It all makes sense. I'm happy with the way this feud is progressing. I just didn't like the lumberjack stipulation. It took away from what really could have been the best match of SummerSlam. And SummerSlam didn't really have that big talking point up until Lesnar captured the WWE Championship. It was all just very, it's okay, but it's nothing great. It's nothing to the point where I would come on here and say, you know what, you guys have to go back and rewatch that. Nothing was like that at SummerSlam. Ambrose and Rollins could have been that, but instead they saved it for Monday Night Raw. And, again, if you look back at it, it makes sense because Monday Night Raw was very average. It was very dull. It was nothing really too exciting about Monday Night Raw. So, in reality, Ambrose and Rollins saved Monday Night Raw from being just a complete bore fest. So, I'm really happy with the way things are transpiring in this feud, and I look forward to Ambrose coming back. It's going to be fucking amazing when he does, and he is okay, folks. Do not worry. He's not being buried. He's not injured. He'll be coming back, and he's going to get the one-up on Rollins. Just be patient. It's classic WWE payoff. And it's going to be great when it actually happens, all right? Next, we have Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar unveiled the WWE Championship with a new logo. Very similar to the one Cena was holding around. If you really didn't watch the product regularly, or if you don't watch the product regularly, you really couldn't tell the difference between these two belts. I mean, it looks great. The plates on it look great for Brock Lesnar. Lesnar wanted to merge the two belts. He was actually interviewed by TMZ paparazzi. He was coming out of Morton's Steakhouse after his victory over John Cena, and the guy asked him, "You going to be carrying around two belts?" And Brock was like, "Oh, fuck no, I'm not carrying around two belts." So he kind of teased after SummerSlam last night that he was going to get rid of the big gold belt, that World Heavyweight Championship. So they unveiled the championship last night. Heyman with another godlike promo, okay? Eat, sleep, suplex, and repeat, okay? I want you guys to remember that. You guys are talking about, Brock Lesnar did 16 suplexes to John Cena. The match was boring. Brock Lesnar is boring. Yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. That's all I heard from people. But this is what you have to understand, okay? And I'm going to make this, I'm going to speak very slowly for each and every one of you. After what Heyman did last night, do you not believe Brock Lesnar is the most dominant WWE champion of all time? Okay? Number two, Lesnar needed to do exactly what you seen at SummerSlam. It was Not the greatest match in the world. It wasn't the most memorable fucking 5-star match you'll ever see on a pay-per-view. But it was memorable in a sense that no one has ever destroyed John Cena the way Brock Lesnar did in John Cena's career. John Cena has been built up as Superman for the longest time. What else did you want to happen with a man like Brock Lesnar staring you in the eyes from across the ring? There was no other way to book that. Kudos to John Cena for going along with what WWE wanted. Kudos to John Cena and WWE Creative for really, you know what, thinking about this, and what other way to go about this but to be destroyed. That's what John Cena needed to have happen. He needed to be destroyed. 16 suplexes, so what? So what? Brock Lesnar, no one throws John Cena around like that. Brock Lesnar can. Brock Lesnar could go into that ring and do whatever the fuck he wants to do. Why? Because he's Brock Lesnar. There is no one on the WWE roster, and I'm thinking about doing a behind the mic on this. This could be a potential problem for the WWE down the line. There is no credible opponents for Brock Lesnar. Now that he's the champion, who is there? There is nobody. Brock Lesnar has no legitimate competition besides John Cena for the WWE Championship. And you're not going to book John Cena and Brock Lesnar again in a rematch. Why would you do that? After what happened at SummerSlam, do you expect John Cena to come out and do anything differently to Brock Lesnar? That would be completely illogical. And I use that word on here in this channel a lot because you got to really think about it. It would be illogical. John Cena was destroyed by Brock Lesnar. Do you expect John Cena to come back at another pay-per-view or another date and just automatically compete with Brock Lesnar after he was just torn apart at SummerSlam? No, it don't make any sense. Brock Lesnar has no competition right now in WWE. Brock Lesnar is a champion. What you seen last night is the definition of what a champion should look like. Oh, he's part-time. Oh, he's this. Oh, he's that. He's only back for the money. Good. I want you to think that. I want you to fucking hate him. He's doing his job brilliantly. Heyman is doing his job brilliantly. I want you to hate Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar wants you to hate him. Plain and simple. The fact that the WWE Championship's not going to be defended, good. Do you want to see Brock Lesnar every week? Or do you want to see Brock Lesnar, the beast, the champion, the main attraction, the headlining guy when he wants to show up? He knows there's no competition for him. He knows that no one on that roster can even touch him. He doesn't need to show up. Brock Lesnar is the WWE Champion. He's going to be the WWE Champion for the remainder of this year, from what I think. And he doesn't need to defend the title on every show. He doesn't need to be on every Monday Night Raw, because it will devalue the belt. Having Lesnar hold the belt is doing that belt favors, because it brings legitimacy. It brings an aura to the belt that nobody has ever given it in the last 10 years. Probably more than that. Probably more than that. Lesnar can show up whenever he wants, and when the title is defended, when you see Brock Lesnar in a ring defending that championship, number one, you're gonna know it's important. Number two, you know it's gonna be a big attraction, and that's what WWE needs to do. Kudos to them for making Brock Lesnar the champion. Great job on booking the match at SummerSlam. Great job with unveiling the title last night to Brock Lesnar. And like I said, I may do a behind the mic on this because it could serve a potential problem for the WWE down the line with Lesnar as champion. I'm happy he's champion, but realistically, you got to think about who in the WWE right now, besides John Cena, can even challenge for that belt and put up a fight against Brock Lesnar. Nobody. That could be a potential problem for the WWE down the line. We'll talk about it. I may come up with some talking points about that and do a behind the mic special on it, or I may save it for Joe Cronin and the podcast that we do on his channel in the next coming week. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. You want to see me talk about it behind the mic or talk about it on the podcast with Joe Cronin, or both? Let me know down in the comments below. Next, we have Brie Bella and Nikki Bella. Stephanie McMahon comes out. I was actually in the other room when Daniel Bryan's music hit. I was like, holy shit, Daniel Bryan's coming out? What is he going to do? Is he going to console Brie Bella? All of a sudden, Stephanie McMahon comes out. She's doing the yes thing, coming out with Daniel Bryan-like t-shirt that says Stephanie McMahon on it. It says Steph 3 times with the exclamation point. The whole segment with the Bella twins was okay. It's just, You know, I even said this on Twitter. It sounds so fucking scripted. It sounds so fake when Nikki talks. Nikki is a horrible actor. I'm gonna tell it to you right now. Nikki is just a fucking awful actor. Brie was the better of the two because when she got slapped across the face, you know, you kind of felt really sorry for her. You felt the remorse there. You know, she doesn't want her sister to betray her. She loves her sister. I can forgive you for what you did. And then all of a sudden, she receives a slap across the face, and she starts crying. Brie actually was the better of the two last night in that segment. I really felt for Brie. And when Nikki slapped Brie across the face, I was initially thinking, I can't wait for Brie to get her hands on Nikki and just beat the shit out of her. So it was a good segment in what it did. Other than that, it was just really, really scripted. It was really forced. Nikki's interaction with Nikki, Stephanie's interaction with Nikki was okay. Brie came out. She was really the star of the two sisters. But other than that, it was a really passable segment. It's going to be nice to see the two go one-on-one with each other. A nice little payoff there. Brie's eventually going to get one over on Stephanie and then take out her sister Nikki. That's where I see that going. But other than that, it was a really scripted, very, very lame promo by Nikki Bella. Very scripted. It really didn't sound natural and genuine. It felt like she was just memorizing lines. It was not from the heart. And I hate that shit. You know, I want guys to, and I want the women to come out there, think about what they're going to say and really fucking feel it. Feel their character. What Nikki did, it showed me that she really didn't feel that character and that she was just memorizing lines. And it was quite evident that she was doing that. And like I said, Brie was the better of the two because the emotion that she showed and the acting that she put on last night, it was really, really good for Brie. And Brie's not the greatest actor in the world, but last night she really showed me something. And like I said, when she got the slap across the face, it really made me think, you know, how Brie gets her fucking revenge on Nikki for that fucking slap. That just, you know, that one slap just made me hate Nikki even more. They're doing a good job, but it really needs to be worked on. It just didn't feel genuine. It wasn't organic. And it was really not the greatest way to start the show. I would have started the show off with Brock Lesnar, to be quite honest with you. I would have saved this for the middle of the show, but apparently WWE thought otherwise. Other than that, I wanted to talk about Rusev. A couple of you guys are talking about Rusev being probably the biggest heel in the WWE. I would have to agree with you. There is no real, genuine heels in the WWE outside of Rusev. Bray Wyatt is kind of an in-betweener. One of the best guys on the roster, no question. One of the best promo guys on the roster, no question. But Rusev is down-to-earth 100% heel. People hate him. People will pay to see Rusev be defeated. And I love the way the WWE is building up Rusev and the hatred that people have for Rusev. The whole USA thing, they're really riding this, and it's so simple that it's going to get him even more heat. And he's eventually going to go over Mark Henry, but last night Mark Henry getting one over on Rusev was brilliant. Mark Henry coming out and really saying, you know what, Lana, shut the fuck up. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to this guy. And then Rusev and Mark Henry go at it, and he gets one over on World's Strongest Slam. The big splash. Rusev looks down. He looks weak, and Lana looks concerned. Good. When these two meet one-on-one and Rusev goes over, people are going to hate him even more. And when Rusev, eventually, I'm thinking they should do it, but I don't think the WWE has any idea what to do. They're not showing any hint of it actually happening. Rusev having the United States title is the way to go. Build him up so much hatred on him already with USA and Russia and just demoralizing the American flag and USA in general. Give him the United States title. Can you imagine how much heat is going to be on Rusev if he has the U.S. title, if he goes one-on-one with Sheamus, which would be a great match regardless? Can you imagine that? But the interaction between Mark Henry and Rusev last night was brilliant. I love the way it was executed. And a lot of you guys, I got to agree with you, like I said, Rusev is the #1 heel right now behind Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar's on a different fucking stratosphere all by himself. But if you're talking about what else is going on the roster, Rusev is the only true heel on the WWE right now. Or in the WWE right now. He's playing it perfectly. Lana is really doing an exceptional job with him. And I look forward to seeing him grow. This feud with Mark Henry should be really good, really quick to move him on, move him down the line. And it worked. It was very well executed. And it's all going to get him over that much more. So it was very, very good last night. Other than that, nothing really else stood out. Ric Flair was roaming around. Shows WWE has no direction with Ric Flair. He showed up with Ziggler, giving Ziggler a pep talk. He showed up with Randy Orton. Why is he floating around the back room? Like, what is he doing? Why is he there? Are they going to pair him with Ziggler after all these months of speculation? I would love to see it, but, you know, he was just floating around randomly. WWE seems to have not a clue as what to do with Ric Flair. Big Show and Mark Henry is a tag team. Please do not put them on my TV. I love Mark Henry by himself. Big Show does not belong on my TV. Wyatt family, you know, they deserve a lot better. You know, WWE right now has no tag teams. You don't want to kill off the Wyatt family and kind of demoralize them by having them in a feud with Mark Henry and Big Show. It's just laziness to me. You know, you got tag teams down in NXT, bring them up. We don't want to see Mark Henry and Big Show. I don't want to see Big Show, period, on my TV regardless. But, you know, the Wyatt family really doesn't need any more distractions or, you know, to be pushed down the ladder anymore in the tag team division that already has no teams. But apparently WWE mixed the team of Big Show and Mark Henry thinking it was a good idea. It's not a good idea. I don't want to see them at all. Mark Henry, I don't mind, but Big Show, you guys know me and the Big Show. I don't like the Big Show, and I don't like Kane either. I don't think they belong on my TV. What else we got going on? AJ Lee. A lot of people are speculating AJ Lee may be leaving the WWE. She may be on her way out. I got a big news story on Off the Script that I'm working on. I'll give you my opinion on that. But Jim Ross actually, you know, kind of mentioned it on his podcast, which I didn't listen to yet, with Bully Ray, that he thinks AJ is going to be leaving the WWE and kind of just go off with CM Punk and just leave the company behind. He may have some inside information that nobody else knows about. But as of last night, they seem to be continuing the storyline. Paige loses to Natalya because AJ interfered. AJ kind of going crazy and kind of playing up to Paige in the games that Paige is playing. So I look forward to that, see how that develops. I'm glad that Paige has the title. I really thought she was going to win from the get-go, but I really didn't think the WWE was going to pull the trigger on that one, but they actually did. So Paige is your new Divas champion as of SummerSlam. Dolph Ziggler is really, really coming into his own. I'm glad that he has the IC belt. I didn't like the decision last night to end that match the way they did with The Miz. I see them continuing this. I really didn't see the point in taking the belt off The Miz after he was just champion for not even a month yet. They gave it to Ziggler. I'm not complaining that Ziggler is champion, but giving it to The Miz so soon, you know, after Wade Barrett had, you know, been injured, they give it to The Miz in a really bullshit fashion, and then they just take it off The Miz. I thought they were about to build The Miz up into a credible heel. But they gave it to Ziggler. I'm not complaining. Ziggler deserves all the success in the world. And The Miz showed a nice mean streak last night. Hopefully they build upon that, because the one thing about The Miz is I like his character. I'm a fan of The Miz, and I like his in-ring work. He's very decent in the ring. He's really nothing bad to complain about, but he really needs to have some balls behind him. He needs to be intimidating. He needs to be, you know, cocky and really fucking evil. You know, I want him to play that evil. I want to have a, you know, a bad side to The Miz. You know, but he really hasn't shown that. He showed glimpses of that last night. But other than that, Ziggler and Miz are going to continue their feud. The funny thing about last night, the funniest part of last night, Ryback getting a huge pop reaction from the Las Vegas crowd, because he is billed from Las Vegas. And that match was actually not that bad. That six-man tag. Roman Reigns, again, I'm not going to, you know, harp on Roman Reigns. Really, really fucking just down. You know, I'm down on the whole Roman Reigns character. He comes in, gets the hot tag, he does his 3 moves, it's the same shit. The whole match was made by Ryback, because when Ryback came in, they were chanting, "Feed me more," and he was feeding up to the crowd. I love that Orton made that tag to Ryback, because he knew that everybody was cheering Ryback. So kudos to Randy Orton for making that tag and tagging Ryback in. He came in, the crowd was going crazy. That was probably one of the best parts of the show, to be quite honest with you. But the Faces won that match. Really, really good 6-man tag. No complaints there. Other than that, the show was a bit disappointing following SummerSlam. There was really nothing, you know, to really dive into and talk about outside Brock Lesnar and, you know, the Brie Bella and Nikki Bella storyline with Stephanie McMahon. John Cena wasn't on the show. He'll be back on Monday Night Raw next week to talk about what happened with Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. Lesnar isn't billed for Monday Night Raw until September 15th, so he's going to be out. I don't know when. I don't know if they're going to add more dates on top of that. But right now we're only, you know, August 18th, August 19th. We're coming up on the 3rd week of August, 2nd week of August. It's like, you know, Brock Lesnar's not going to be there for a month. So what does that mean? You know, you guys may be concerned. I told you shouldn't be concerned. Cena's going to be back next week. He's going to tell us what happened and how he feels and the medical condition. He got sent to a hospital after SummerSlam, blah, blah, blah. So we'll hear what John Cena has to say. But Lesnar's not going to be on TV for a while. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Lesnar can do whatever he wants. So Monday Night Raw overall, I would give it, I don't know, I would give it like a 6 out of 10. There was some things there that were good, and most of it was just, why is this on my TV? You know, this is what really they want to put on TV after SummerSlam. It is what it is, guys. But let me know what you think about Monday Night Raw down below. Let me know what you think about the biggest news stories coming out of Monday Night Raw. I will be back on Friday with Off The Script, all right? If you missed Off The Script this past weekend, link is down below. If you missed the podcast with Joe Cronin, epic. One thing you should check out this weekend, link is down below as well. Go and check Joe out on his channel. I'll link him down below as well. What else do we got? Chairshot Reality, WrestleZone.com, LeBar Eisenberg and Ghoulish. They had all your SummerSlam weekend planned. If you guys missed that, go and check them out. They were giving great content over SummerSlam weekend in regards to the event. And that's it, guys. I'll be back with Off The Script on Friday. Me and Joe are going to plan another podcast very soon. If you guys really did enjoy that, I'm really excited about that. It went very well. And up until then, guys, I'll see you Friday. Take care. This is JD. I got to go to work, and I'll see you guys on Friday. Until then, take care.